Yo, what up, world? It's your man Fatal. We live, locked and loaded. It is the After Party Radio Show. We live right here on Frenzee Broadcasting. Get ready for the Frenzee. We got my special guest in the building today. First of all, we got Miss Josie in the building. Y'all make some noise.
You gotta say the last name, Preciado.
If I say it's gonna sound like Pretzel. So if I don't, if I said that name, I'd be a weirdo. It would sound like Pretzel, y'all. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to like botch your name that bad.
What's good?
What's poppin', y'all?
Who do we got in the building?
We got my man Concrete in the building. Crowd's going crazy, pandemonium. Women are throwing bras. Jock straps are flying everywhere, man. Welcome to the building, man.
Dude, thank you for having me. I appreciate
It's still clapping, man. Butt cheeks are clapping. It's all in the air right now. What's going down, man?
Man, dude, thank you for having me, man. I'm just happy to be here, dude.
Man, you got the red eyes, bro. God damn, you need some Bed-Stuy to come through with the clear eyes on that ass.
Like, I wasn't gonna say anything, but
I thought I had red eyes. Like, you look like the devil's dick. Like, oh my God.
Man,
what's going down, bro?
I don't really post much on social media. Shit like that. But every now and then I
ain't
we just burnt him. Let me.
Hey, no, man. Come on, man.
You know you gotta come to the.
After party, bro. We gotta talk about it.
I might have rolled something up before I got here.
Don't chill, hold on.
There you go.
We're not judging you, bro. My name ain't Judy. Hello.
Pero hay un Dios que todo
Oh yeah, he sees it all.
Hold on, man. All right, so 2020, man, what's something you're doing this year that you weren't doing in other years, man, previous years? Is there like a new, maybe a Mamba mentality, especially after stuff like Kobe's tragic death? Is there anything you're doing different this year?
Man, you know what? I think the biggest thing I'm doing now in 2020 is just more or less just being myself on all levels and just kind of like taking no risk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, taking every risk in a sense. You know, like I'm going at it like full force. You know what I'm saying? I'm grabbing the bull by his horns and I'm just kind of going with it, man. I'm working every day. I'm trying to stay as active as possible and you know, kind of like not letting up. You know, like just not letting up.
So for y'all that don't know, Concrete. Can I just call you Concrete?
Yeah, of course.
Like Concrete Live? Or
No.
Just say Concrete Live.
How can I call you? You know what I mean?
No, it's just concrete. It's just concrete.
So like, for those of y'all that don't know, you do skits, right, on Instagram. You do.
That's what people know me as now.
Okay,
as now. Yeah,
I knew this dude back years ago when he was rapping. His name was Beretta. I know him since Beretta. I know this dude since we used to hang out with the homie Roy, man. Rest in peace, full clip.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, man. I know this dude way back in the day. We go back like Lazy Boy Recliners. Hello.
Yeah, it was rapping.
You know what I'm saying?
Then, my boy Roy passed away in 2008, and you know, this was at a time when like I had just had a record on the radio, like Felly right here at Power 106 was playing my joint, and then you know, it kind of just derailed me, and I didn't feel like doing music anymore. I was just kind of done with it. You know, I kind of saw the facade behind you know, I kind of saw like the fourth wall in the industry, and I wasn't too like happy about it. So I kind of left for a little while, and then I got into radio. I did radio for 2 years. I did the Latin Legacy show on LA Talk Live, and then we went to Pocos Pero Locos. Edub and Kool-Aid gave us a shot. So we took our show over there, and then after a while, even that, I was kind of like, you know, I didn't feel challenged enough,
right?
You know, and I didn't feel like going back to music. So then I started directing music videos.
Okay.
And I've been doing that, you know, professionally for the last 10 years, and you know, that's been a blast. I mean, that kind of took me all over the world, and I seen the world through a lens pretty much, and that's been I found the passion, and it wasn't until like in 2018, during September, it was September 23rd, I was shooting a music video for Compton Menace and Secan, and it was like the last hour. We were like almost done with the last shots. We parked at a street. We got off to get a couple shots. We just kind of took my camera and, you know, came back, and like all the gear was gone, like over $40,000-$50,000 worth of stuff gone.
Lying.
Oh, hell no.
And I was even like, yo, what?
Like that.
You know, so that I kind of stepped back and I was like, okay, wait, I gotta like readjust what I'm doing and the people I have around me, and you know, it kind of like even that took me down. So I stopped shooting for like 2-3 months. You know,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Like I really stopped shooting. I stopped doing everything, and then you know, kind of just to get myself out of my own slump, I just kind of started doing my comedy. You know, people were like, yo, like, why don't you put this shit that you do in person with us kicking it like on the gram?
Right.
And I was like, I never really thought of it. It's just always me more directing other people and, you know, just being the camera guy in a sense, you know?
Yeah.
So I remember I did my first skit, and then it was like people were like, yo, you got to keep doing this shit. And I was like, all right, cool.
He was showing me. So I was curious because he was showing me earlier. It's your dad, I believe. It's you and your dad.
Yeah, papi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo me lo
papi.
encontré. And I was like, well, what did he find? Like, what did you find?
I don't know. I can't tell
She
you.
was
She
actually-
can't tell you it's
You
tricks.
gotta tell me.
She was ready for the conclusion, bro. It was like it left her
He kind
hanging.
of showed it to me, and he's like, look, and I was like, watch.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like this is funny. And then he took it away, and I was like, wait, like let me watch the beginning. Like, what was it? He's
What
like,
was it? Yeah.
He literally grabbed
I
his phone.
think-
He's like,
I don't think Concrete knows what
I
it
don't know.
was.
And that's like the beauty of like, like camera tricks. And, that's where I kind of brought all the stuff that I learned in like film. I brought all those camera tricks and all those enticing moments that essentially will keep you watching something, like it'll keep you engaged.
Right.
And I started applying all those things to my stuff now. Like I help other people build their Instagrams and I help other people build their YouTube channels. And I kind of started just using everything I learned that I did with those people, and I started like applying it to myself, and it's working, And like, I think one of the biggest things about comedy, to me, is just vulnerability. Like what the moment things become, like that you can relate to that are vulnerable. That's when you get the attachment with people, because they be like, I can relate to you, I can relate on that level. So. Yeah, with that being said, you saw how I segue from your question?
What did he say?
Yeah, we got away
I
from the
know, he
question.
didn't even answer. And I'm only
Word.
like,
He basically, long story short, is if you want to
He's
figure
not
that
gonna
one
tell
out,
me.
You got to keep
look at
watching.
this.
Nah, you gotta keep watching.
He showed me
Yeah.
the McDonald's one too. He kept.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, she was bro.
like that one. Like that was even a setup too. Like I like the first skit I posted with the McDonald's thing. It was funny because I like the first video was I went and got like an application, and I filled it out, and then I went back and I had like an interview.
So you keep doing. I didn't get that
Yeah,
far. He was just showing
yeah.
me.
So
a
if you go
couple.
back, like
like
if
a
you go
series.
back, you see exactly like all of my skits more or less
That's
have a setup.
funny.
They have a beginning, middle, and an end.
Who comes up with these things?
Man, I mean, just when I'm driving around, like when I'm driving around in the
Smoking
bathroom,
mota.
taking a shower or whatever.
He
Like
doesn't
sometimes,
do that, Fatal.
Come on, man.
no, I don't smoke.
Wink, wink.
I just kind of sit there. I just like the way it smells.
California is Californication, man.
I get the effect. People around
Yeah.
me be smoking. My eyes get red.
Exactly.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
So it's so cool. How's the transition been from the music into the directing into the skits, man? Do you feel like you still obviously want to get back into the music, right?
Man, I don't know.
You have that
Or
drive?
radio. Like, do you miss the radio?
Is there a mixtape coming this year?
I mean, you know
bro?
what? Like, I mean, I've been closely working with like friends like Jay Cruz from the Jay Cruz Show 92.3 here in LA, and I've been just kind of like soaking up game from him. He's been inviting me up to the station, and I've been working with them, and but it's I mean, if it happens, it happens. Like if I ever get a shot at doing radio again, I mean, I'll take it. But it's not like it's something that I'm like actively searching. I think just me like creating content and creating like the shorts that I did, like Benny and stuff like that. That's more drama based and stuff. That I wrote, directed, produced, and edited, like the whole thing. I like doing that, and I kind of like being like super hands on with everything. That's just the creative part of me. But I don't know, maybe. I mean, people have been telling me to do stand up. And that's crazy hard.
When you said you were coming from that show, I
Yeah.
for like a second thought, I was like,
Yeah.
like damn, like was he performing too? Like,
Nah, I just kind I mean, we just kind of went out there to see what's up, and we happened to Noel came with us, and he happens to know Gary, so we kind of got a chance to just chop it up with Gary and just soak up a little bit of game. And he was telling him, he's like, yo, like my boy Concrete, he's a comedian. And I was like, dude, don't be saying that, bro. That's like a lot,
He's getting you ready,
I make
bro.
funny
Bro,
videos
yeah.
right now, but hey, no, I mean, a comedian like that comes with a lot.
Is that all it is?
so let's go back to your roots.
Yeah, what's up?
Where's your family from? Where were you born?
My mom was born in Guadalajara, and she was raised in Compostela, which is in Nayarit. My dad's from Tepic, Nayarit, so my parents are both from like Mexico.
From like Nayarit.
Yeah. Definitely
You were
grew up
born
there.
and
And
raised
I was born in Van Nuys. Grew up in the valley right here.
Hello.
So this is like my backyard, dude.
Budweiser, hello.
Yeah, everything right here, man. This is it. Went to Kennedy High School right here, like not too far, Poly, and then that was it.
Yeah, I'm digging the braids, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not used to seeing you with the braids.
Yeah,
bro.
thank you, man.
It's
It's
a new
been a
look.
while. I think the last time I had him, like Nelly was hot.
Yeah, dog. It was.
Yeah, the fucking,
You know what I'm saying?
the one was with the bandit on on his
Yeah,
face.
like Allen Iverson was killing the game.
It literally was like not even like Nelly hot in here. It was like Nelly with like, you know what I'm saying? My shit, I'm going down, down, baby.
Yeah.
It was like the first
Country
Nelly.
Grammar.
Yeah, country grammar Nelly, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, before he got the band they even put on, it was like, yeah, you were
I'm just doing it before I start losing the hair. I don't know when it's gonna start happening, but
hey man, it was good, bro.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's good that you're braiding it. You know,
Thank you.
they say that if you braid, your hair grows. So.
Yeah. So
is that true?
Yeah.
That's what they say. I mean, unless
Yeah, the
it's
girl's
just
like,
a Mexican myth,
yeah,
right?
she said a half an inch every month.
Yeah.
That's what she said, huh?
So, hey. Psst, there
Shut
you
the
go.
ladies out there.
There you go.
Hey man,
Yeah, dude.
So what was a favorite music video that you shot and worked on as a director producer, man?
Oh man, I mean, there's quite a bit of them. You know,
What stands out? Maybe
the one that I always have fun with is Baby Bash. You know, like me and him, we have a little brother, big brother relationship. You know, and he kind of always has something like what he wants to do.
We're gonna cut your verse.
Yeah,
I was showing her that
You
one.
were like,
Oh, that
yeah,
shit
like,
was funny.
yeah, like me and him do skits
Can
all
I
the
get my
time.
beat back?
Yeah,
No,
you
you
know,
can't.
exactly. Like, you know, like me and him get along like that, and like we just always have that relationships. Like, so we're able to laugh on and off the camera. And whenever I shoot music videos with him, it's like we just have mad fun. Like it's just or like a really good time on set. But obviously, I mean, I've had, you know, a bunch of highlights. I've been blessed to be able to work for a lot of dudes. You know, like right now I'm working tight with Danny Trejo. I'm shooting a lot of music videos for his label. I'm also been working a lot with Frankie J. You know, we've been
He's coming back,
really tight. Yeah, like we've had like quite a few records.
or he's been. I'm sorry, I
no,
haven't heard him in a while.
Yeah, I mean it's stuff that like you kind of always tend to hear artists, you know, and then they kind of have a record, and you know what I mean, but they're still heavily involved with music and other people's projects that you might be like, oh, he wrote that, you know.
Oh, you know what? Who did he collabed not too long ago with? Or maybe it was a while back. Becky G. Was it Becky G?
Yeah, I'm like he's done stuff with Becky G. We shot a music video with him. It was him, Chiquis Rivera, and Bash. They did. I mean, he's done a bunch of stuff lately. Yeah.
That's dope.
A lot of stuff behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see, like writing records and producing and, you know, kind of connecting dots for people, for records that you do hear on the radio,
Right.
where you're like, you know, you may not know it's him, but, you know, those are the guys behind the pen, you know,
Yep.
penning out records for other artists.
Funny, the one I thought was funny was I guess you were chilling at his house or something.
At whose house?
At Baby Bash's house.
Yeah.
I guess you're like in his pool or something.
Yeah. No, skinny dipping.
Is that what it was, bro? Yeah, like,
Yeah.
okay, you had the man thong on, huh?
Yeah.
Damn,
and I mean,
bro.
like, we were just chilling,
Come on,
smoking,
man.
and then
he
I
was
was
like,
like, yo, I just thought of something. He was like, what? And I told him the idea. He was like, bet, let's do it, you know?
No,
So-
I think it was like he was like, man, who invited you here? I didn't invite you here, bro.
Yeah, I just broke into his house.
Put you back there like just chilling like it's a thing to do.
Yeah, dude. That, you know, I mean, dude, working with him is like we don't even do 2 takes. It's just like the first take because he's legitimately funny.
Do you have a YouTube channel, or you're just
Yeah. It's
You
called
just
Concrete
get
Comedy. I mean, a lot of my stuff is just focused on Instagram. You know, that's what I'm
Just like
focusing.
this
Yeah, I'm
shorter.
just focusing on building that. You know, I've gained over easily 30,000 followers in like 12 months, and you know, I don't know what the rate is.
Can we get like an applause?
You know, I don't know what the rate is, but to me that was pretty
Hello.
good. You know, because I had like
No,
5,000
it's
followers
good,
for
of
like 10
course.
years, yo. Like
No,
it took
it's
you a
good.
while.
Yo, I remember Concrete when he had like 22 followers.
Yeah.
10 was
up.
family. My
Yeah.
mama had 4 fake profiles.
Yeah.
Especially if you're Mexican,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
la
it's
tía,
like,
el tío,
yeah,
la
yeah,
prima
yeah.
del primo de la
Nah,
prima
it
de
was
la
funny
abuela.
because it's like nobody cared. Like I would post pictures like with, you know, like some pretty heavy hitters. You know, like I've worked with like Yandel and all these dudes, and I'm chilling in islands, and it's like I got 37 likes. And it's like nobody cared. You know, it wasn't until I started posting like the funny shit that people were like, okay, bet I'm gonna
Yeah.
follow this dude, or I'm gonna repost his stuff, or I'm gonna comment. But the biggest thing is just engaging with your people. You
For
know, like if
sure.
you get 5 comments, engage with those 5 people.
Word.
You know, because then all they're gonna see is that there's 10 comments now, not 5. You
That's
know, so
it.
when you engage with the people, it's kind of like, you know, like I mean, that's the first thing you do. Like when you want to meet people, you don't go meet, you know, like you don't go to a function and just sit there and just look at people. You go and engage with them. You talk to them. So that's the way social media is. You know, like if somebody comments, the best thing is to show love back and you know let them know that you saw them.
Yeah.
What up?
So you're born and raised in LA.
Yeah.
So we gotta ask you, how did Kobe's death affect you? Did it affect
devastating.
you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it took me like, you know, 3 days to even like leave the crib, you know. The day I left the crib, it was the day that my boy called me and he was like, yo, you got to come to downtown. And I was like, I don't think I want to be down there. He was like,
Yeah.
no, you got to come and you got to get your camera. And my mother-in-law was like, yes, you gotta go. You know, like she.
Damn, it hit you that hard. Were you like, because you're like a diehard fan, or just because?
I'm a
like,
like I mean, you know, my cousin. I mean, like we're diehard Kobe fans, and I know people in the industry, you know, that work with him closely, and how devastated they were when I was, you know, like when they reached out or I reached out to them. And it was just tough, you know what I mean? It was just tough to see it go down like that after seeing them grow up. I mean, like we all grew up. Like if you're from LA, you grew up with Kobe, right? If you're from New York, you grew up with Derek Jeter, and he was that guy to us here, you know? So it was, yeah, man, it was pretty tough to, you know, to go through. And I mean, you know, like I couldn't even shoot the you know, like the tribute video. I was out there for like 30 minutes and I couldn't do it no more, you know? And I mean, you know, again, everybody has their different ways of grieving. And, you know, I just wanted to do something for him and, you know, show a little bit of love. And it's just tough, you know, just prayers out to his family.
For sure.
All right, man. We always do this at the end of the show, man. We give everyone a chance to speak some positivity into the air. Everyone listening right now, people that want to get into the industry, man, doing what you're doing right now, what kind of advice would you give to them, man?
Just be yourself. I think like that's what helped me out, you know, like when I was rapping, and when you're a rapper, you have this certain like persona that you have to carry as an artist or as a rapper. You try to have this, you know, tough feel about you. And, you know, I think that kind of sometimes it you know, gives you like, it's stagnant to like your process and how you become as a regular person, you know, and you need to be able to let that come out. And for me, it was like I couldn't be that rapper. No, I couldn't be that dude trying to be hard all the time and try. It's like fuck that. Like I wasn't being myself. I wasn't being who I am around my peoples. So I think the best thing is just to be yourself and let that pull through. And ultimately, you know, people that are like-minded like you are gonna start following you regardless. And if you just be yourself, right? To me, it's like the first thing people can do is if you open up to them and they like you, after that, anything you put in front of them, they're gonna like you. You know, it's like even with artists, you know, artists, when they get a fan, it's because that fan sees something in them that they can relate to. And once they find that, then you can, you know, I mean, they're gonna be fans forever, you know? So just be yourself, let your personality come through on Instagram, and, you know, like the rest will come. And engage with people. Engage with people, you know, let them know that you're there.
Isn't it crazy how social media is so fucking important nowadays? Like your Instagram, like, it's so important.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the craziest part to me is like when somebody sends me a message, they're like, yo, I was feeling like shit today, bro, and I saw your video and it kind of just put me in a better mood. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't, you know, like,
do it with those
when
intentions.
I do my skits, it's just kind of like, yo, I'm just, hopefully people like it. And, you know, I mean, sometimes it could be a hit or miss, you know, but with, you know, with comedy, it's hard to kind of make people laugh on cue. You know, it's like when you want them to laugh. And so when people hit me up and they say like, yo, like, you made my day, or, you know, like I was having a really bad week or whatever the case. So I'm like, oh, dude, thank you. You know, like I'll try to keep doing it, you know. But yeah, so just be yourself.
Why don't you mix the comedy with the rap, bro?
I was about to say, why don't you bring
you know what's funny is that like I don't know, dude. Like I'm just, you know, like when you find your niche, right? Like I think comedy was my passion, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes you got to differentiate between chasing your passion and chasing your calling. You know what I'm saying? And I think my passion is rap, and I love it. But my calling is making people laugh. And the moment you chase your calling is the moment that I feel you're going to prosper at it. Because you're doing it because, you know, te nace el corazón. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just comes from the heart. Right. And rapping, again, I feel like I have to be someone I'm not. You dig what I'm saying?
So you felt like that even back then when you were rapping?
Nah, I didn't feel like that, you know, because I was trying to find myself. I was just an 18-year-old kid, and I was touring, and I was doing everything, you know? So I just kind of felt like I was just living in the moment just as an 18-year-old kid, you know? But now it's kind of like, I know who I am now, and I know what my purpose is, and I'm following that purpose. And now that I've been doing that, I've been more successful in 12 months that I've been in the game for 15 years.
I was just going to ask you that. Do you feel like your comedy already outshadowed your success in your music?
Absolutely, because people don't know me for that.
Yeah. Well, I remember back in the day, you were making some moves, and that was early on before the digital stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that was a hard, and that was a hard part for me because I was coming off of like still like street like hand-to-hand combat. Like I was selling my CDs for $5. I traveled the country just like with the CD money, bro. Greyhounding it from city to city. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing like the footwork for it. And then like YouTube and social media hit, and for dudes like me that were barely like, I was barely doing this shit, and now there's something new. Like I couldn't, so it was hard for me to like try to get into that lane. You know, it was at that point, it was already like 18-year-old kids that were like doing some dope shit on social media, you know? So it was a little bit of a transitioning. And now that social media is big, obviously, like, it took me a while to implement, you know, what I was showing
like,
other
can
people.
I ask how old you are, or you wouldn't answer?
You don't never
like,
ask a gentleman his
Nah,
name. Hold on.
No, because there's a point to what I'm gonna say. Like, I don't know.
I'm 34.
Okay, so you're 34.
Wow, you 34?
Yeah.
So you didn't necessarily. I mean, you kind of grew up with the internet and with, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
in a way, because you, like, right now you were saying you were selling the CDs, but yet YouTube is already out, so you kind of had to find your way in there. So that just goes to like tell, like, anyone can fucking do this. Like you said, if you have a calling for it,
you know
like,
what the thing was is like the video thing was like finding something that wasn't gonna be music and that I could still like somehow channel the music, right? Like I could still be in part of the music, and then it became a survival mode because I was making like people were paying me like $50 to shoot a music video, and I was like, dope.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I get 5 of those 6 a week, that's 300. If I do 30 a month, and
Now
it's,
you
I mean, you
balling.
know what I'm saying? Like, so I started
Ballin'.
doing all that, you know, and then slowly but surely, like the numbers got bigger and the budgets got bigger and the clients got bigger. So I'm like, all right, cool, you know, like I'm here, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was a tough transition, but it was well worth it, you know.
No, I think it's dope because I mean, my brother's about your age, I think, and it's funny because sometimes I see him trying to work social media, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you, like, why would you post that? Or like, we don't care about that, brother. Like, what are you doing? You know, so it's dope for you to like that you found your way, and you know, like you said, like in these 12 months, like you gained all these followers.
Yeah.
Like that's dope.
Yeah, like I mean, I've been putting up big numbers, right? Like I have probably no bullshit over 500 million views on all my work, you know, between all the artists that I've
Can we
worked
get
for.
some applause?
You know,
like, man.
but
Hello.
I was, you know, like, but I was just building other people's stuff, you know,
Right.
like I didn't take into consideration like my long-term career.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, like those numbers are just, it's their numbers and they benefit off of it. I just benefit off of like just making the video at the time and the monetary compensation from that moment, you know. So when I started knowing how, you know, people get paid on YouTube, I was like, wait, what?
Exactly.
Oh, hold on.
on.
I was like, wait. I was like, you know,
Is that how you felt?
yeah, exactly. I was like, and not screwed. It was just more like, fuck. I mean, I should have been up on my
bro,
shit. I was just so busy just working, just
let's-
doing people's videos and just, you know.
Let's give some game real quick now before we skip off of that topic.
Yeah.
Artists think that like it's very low pay, bro, right? For the YouTube views as far as the
It
monetization.
could be lucrative, right? Like if you have
Even 100 million, like a million views isn't even that big of a paycheck.
no, so it breaks down at $3,000 per million views.
Per million.
Per million views, and then it depends where your video is being viewed at. So if it's being viewed outside of the United States, the payer is low. So if you're getting 1 million views in Mexico, the pay rate ain't gonna be the same in the States.
Get paid in pesos.
Yeah, like you get paid in pesos, and that's exactly what it is, right?
man.
So it's gonna take you a while to get a buck.
Pay them back, like,
Yeah, you probably owe them money, bro.
Mess
You know,
around,
like-
the narcos come and deliver your payment. Like, oh man, I'm dealing with El Chapo for this
Yeah.
payment.
But you know, I mean,
Hello.
I mean, you gotta think about it. Like, there's dudes that, you know, they'll invest $500 on a music video, they'll get 3 million views. They just made 9 G's on their $500 investment.
Word.
So that was where I was like, okay, bet, hold on, you know, because if I'm making all this product and all this product is getting all these millions of views, I just need to turn the camera around, and that's what I've been doing, you know. And so I mean, it's working. I mean, I just
so
feel
I'm
like
sure,
it's open doors.
on
You know?
Instagram, you've been getting like you get not so much sponsorships, but like ads, right? You've been you can make money off of there too.
Yeah, like for the last 6 months, I've been approached like quite a bit for ads. Like I just did one for Sin Manchas. It's like a cleaning supply.
Okay.
And I did that. That was fun.
Okay.
I did
Holla, hold on.
yeah, I did like impulse.
hey, let's give him the Lysol test. What's that Lysol
right.
test that we
What's
did
the
earlier?
Lysol? Did you guys take the Lysol? You guys took
Oh
it?
damn it!
You guys took it?
Someone swipe or no swiping.
Yeah,
Took
that's
our
exactly what it was. That's
bloody
exactly what it
Lysol.
was. And then I did like impulse nutrition, like some protein stuff, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't even work out, dude. Like, what am I gonna do for this skit?"
Oh no.
Yeah, so I just put like a sweat, and I was just, you know, like I kind of made up a slogan for them, and yeah, so that was
That's
that.
good.
Was cool.
You gotta get that money. Like,
Yeah, so there's been a few of them. Like, I mean, I've, you know, been blessed. You know what I'm saying, to be able to do a few things here and there, and you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bro,
man.
you're 34 with beautiful braids on your head. You blessed, bro.
Yo,
Hands
hey,
clapping.
say it again.
Hello.
Y'all can yell. Let me hear it.
Say it again. Say it again.
Good energy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, 2020 is here, man. Like, despite Kobe, man, that should have been something we can all walk away and say, hey, we got to have the MOM, man, that mindset of Mamba, man. We got to take that work ethic and that hustle into this year.
I'm just
go for the gusto, man.
I'm just mad they lost tonight.
Yeah, that was
Did they
horrible.
really?
Yeah,
They lost tonight.
Okay, but like, let's be real. Can we blame them?
you didn't see
Well,
Usher.
because I just figured, like, you know, I figured
They would
LeBron was
want
gonna
to.
come out like mad hungry, but then again, like,
He was so devastated.
yeah, exactly. You know,
He came
so
out
I was just kind of like,
crying.
yeah,
you know.
man, come on.
But mom, you know, like I feel like Mamba wouldn't have.
He would have been happy with that
He
play.
wouldn't have
but
gave a shit. He would have. He would have went at you. He would
Yeah.
have went at your head.
even dead. Like, the ghost of Mamba was there.
Yeah, man.
I feel like Kobe would have
I have
balled better.
nightmares tonight.
The hologram Kobe would have been better than the team that played, man.
Dude,
I don't
yeah,
know what happened,
it
man.
was,
Hold on.
It was
How,
tough.
how
it was
bad
tough.
was the score?
It was.
129 to 117, I believe, or something.
It doesn't matter, bro. A loss is a loss. A win is a win. Don't matter if you
But I
win
think
by
tomorrow-
inch or
It
a
don't even
mile.
matter.
I think tomorrow in Sacramento they're gonna pick it back up.
we'll see,
I think
man.
tonight was just like an emotional game.
For sure.
You know?
For
And,
sure.
you know, just
Hate
an
to
emotional
say it,
game,
man,
yeah.
but somehow in the past few years, Clippers have taken over the dynasty in LA.
Don't even say that.
I'm not trying to be a hater,
How they
bro.
gonna take over? They don't even got one
Bro,
championship.
but this year
Damn.
might be the year, dog.
No,
'Cause-
the year of what?
Hey, first
Of
of
one
all-
championship to
Damn,
16.
they
I'm
can't
not trying to
even-
bandwagon. I'm just saying,
Bro.
bro.
Let
me
Things
neutralize.
evolve.
I'm just saying.
Things
It's about to
evolve.
be like first taken here right
Stuff
now.
happens.
It's about to be
Concrete,
undisputed.
You just
Stuff
took the
happens.
first point tonight.
Stuff
Stephen,
happens.
I'm about to get Stephen A. Smith on your ass.
Clippers are ready to get their own house.
Hey,
They're
Concrete's
retired
like, I'm ready
Staples
to
Center.
fucking go.
Yes.
Right now.
You
They're gonna have to
know,
get their own house.
Clippers ain't been good since Elton Brand.
They
but
paying the rent with
they're
nothing.
back, you know.
They just been paying rent and been running around throwing the ball because they ain't won nothing.
Damn.
Imagine just running around
Come
for
on,
30
man.
years and not winning nothing.
I'm gonna get the homie Clipper Darrow up in here, man.
Yo,
Talk
I
some
seen him
shit.
the other day. I seen him when I was shooting the tribute video.
Clipper Darrow would have my back right now. That I
Yeah.
know.
Oh, he was heavy.
He'd be
He was out
louder
there
than all
showing
of
love,
us
though.
together.
He was out there showing love,
He
man. He looked really devastated too. So.
Yeah, no.
Concrete.
Thank
we
you
wish
guys.
you success
Gracias.
this
Thank
year.
you.
Tell them where to
Hell
follow
yeah.
you if they're not
Todo
already following
corazón,
you.
ya sabes, la
Thank you.
raza te sigue.
Oh, thank you. Hell yeah, that's right.
Where can they follow you at, bro?
Man, just follow me on all platforms at Concrete Live, just how it sounds, Concrete Live.
There you guys go.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Fatal, where can they find you?
It's Fatal Official, and make sure you follow After Party Radio Show,
Hello.
Frenzy Broadcasting.
Make sure you
Hello,
Yeah.
Miss Josie.
_ JOZIE _ Josie Preciado. It's simple.
Y'all stay blessed. We too blessed to be stressed, man.
Hello.
Y'all stay up. Positive vibes, frequencies through the roof, man. This After Party Radio Show. Be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get ready for the frenzy. Yeah.